All right, so I'm just a stupid dog, and this take is 100% all about growth. Growth in our spectators, growth in our subscribers, growth in our likes. All right, so we're going to do a Kill Tony take because Kill Tony is spectacular, and this was all about one of Kill Tony's Madison Square Garden phenomenal, spectacular events. Kill Tony had a spectacular event. Joe Rogan was there, and I'll comment about that a little bit later because I didn't even recognize Joe. Joe was sitting there for like 20 or 30 minutes before I realized it was Joe because Joe was wearing a really freaky, deaky costume. Shane Gillis was there in his mutton head. Shane Gillis has a head on him like a cutworm. Shane Gillis, the cutworm-headed son of a bitch. Okay? And on the panel, Dr. Phil made a brief appearance. So that's why it was so wonderful. Finally, Kill Tony figured out how to do an arena show. So it's not just a boo fest. Boo fest, go up and suck. Go up and suck, etc. Andrew is bulky. Andrew is fat-necked. Andrew Dice Clay, he came out. Andrew was bulky, he was fat. He had a big giant torso. He looked like Pluto from Popeye. He had pencil legs and a big fat torso leading up to at least it was a V-neck. His neck was fatter than his torso. His neck was fatter than his waist. His head was the biggest, fattest thing on him. He was fat-necked. He was small-assed. He was thick-torsoed. He was a beef head. That's what I want to say. The producer wasn't down with this. Andrew Dice Clay was a big fucking beef head. A beef head, I say. Anyways. They said something about purple laced. I don't even know what purple laced is. But the dog doesn't know how much Andrew Dice Clay means to comedy and to Kill Tony. This is what the producer said. The producer said, purple licensed, purple, oh no. Maybe Andrew was he was wearing purple lens glasses. Andrew was wearing purple lens glasses like a ripoff of, the guy who sang Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that guy, Elton John. Andrew was trying to rip off Elton John. But anyways, he's still a thick torsoed beefhead. He was wearing Elton John glasses. But the producer said, the dog doesn't know how much Andrew Dice meant the comedy itself or how much he meant to Kill Tony. How much Andrew Dice Clay meant to Kill Tony. Whatever. Play me a smaller violin. I love it. It's so beautiful. How much Andrew means to comedy and to Kill Tony. All right, so then anyways, Heidi number one, ring girl. Heidi, this was a note I had to agree with the producer. This Heidi, she's tanned all over. She's beautiful. She's taunt. She's tight. She's gorgeous. She's curvy. She's voluptuous. She's tight. Heidi, the ring girl, in her skimpy brassiere. She's gorgeous. All right. So anyways, nice blue jeans. The next comedian up had a really wonderful pair of blue jeans. His blue jeans were really stark. They really captivated everybody. His blue jeans were really spectacular. 9/11 man. Corey 9/11. I don't know what that means. Shane Pending. Shane is pounding Bud Lights. Shane Gillis, he's not afraid. You could dismiss the Bud Lights. You could say Bud Lights are for queers, transsexuals, transvestites, for nomads. Shane Gillis is not laying down his Bud Lights, and I give Shane credit. Shane is a mullet, not a mullet head. He's a mutton head. He's got a head on him like a cutworm, but he does not give up on his Bud Lights, and he ain't afraid to have anybody see him pounding Bud Lights. Shane Gillis is not one of those ones that lets contemporary mores interfere with his alcoholism. He's pounded Bud Lights because he's a Bud Light man. And I give Shane a lot of credit for that. That's one thing that you could give Shane a lot of credit for. Anyways, I mean, I didn't recognize Joe Rogan in the time. I don't know what that means. I didn't recognize Joe Rogan. And then when I did, I was like, Joe Rogan is wearing a big bird robe. And also, Joe looks old. Joe is wearing some kind of a fluffy, feathery, professional wrestling, like he was one of those guys from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the Hawks, when they were doing their wrestling thing. They had a feathery costume. Or maybe he's looking like Joe Rogan's like trying to do a Tiny Dancer situation with a beautiful lemon-colored robe of feathers. Joe looks old. That potato head motherfucker looks old as shit. Joe looks as old as an old dirt road. Joe looks as old as an old haunch, an old thigh of a woman who gave birth to like 16, children, a couple quintuplets, a couple twins with the varicose veins. Joe looks like an old, gnarly, thick, varicose-veined woman's thigh who had a lot of children. Joe looks old. In other words, Mr. Potato Head, Joe Rogan, looks old. Forget about looking his age. Joey R., the Mr. Potato Head, he's looking like you would look in the future. He's looking like that guy at the end of 2001 Space Odyssey when he was supposed to be like a couple centuries old. That's how Joe looks now. Joe looks like if he got in a time machine, he went backwards 50 years, he stepped out and he'd be like, holy shit, Joe, you look like your grandfather's great uncle. You look old. Joe, you look nastily old. You look fabricatedly old. You look, I'm a yuck, stupid dog. Joey R. Big Joey R, you look, whatever. Whatever's for whatever. But your age, I wish you looked your age. You look like a steroid-induced Mr. Potato Head version of yourself in the future. You, Joey, look unfabulous. I'm a yuck, stupid dog. Don't worry about it.